The A320 is equipped with dual-wheel main gear which retract inboard, and a dual-wheel nose gear which retracts forward. The wheels of the main landing gear are equipped with carbon brakes for efficient braking even at high temperature, an anti-skid system, an automatic braking system. The nose gear is equipped with nose wheel steering. The ECAM wheel page displays indications for the main landing gear, nose landing gear, landing gear doors, and brake temperature. In the center of the ECAM wheel page, green and amber messages can be displayed to provide normal and abnormal indications. Since the wheel page is displayed during landing, spoiler position is also displayed at the bottom of the page for quick reference. Let's go to the cockpit to locate the controls and indicators for the landing gear, brakes, and steering. The landing gear selector lever is located on the center instrument panel. Just above the landing gear lever is located a panel which contains switches and indicators for the landing gear, the auto brake, and the anti-skid and nose wheel steering. Up, down, and unlock indications on the gear panel are associated with position indicators on the wheel page. When auto brakes are used, selection of low, medium, or max is made using these push-button switches. This switch controls both the anti-skid and the nose wheel steering through the brake steering control unit, the BSCU. Left in the on position for all normal operations, it is switched off only in case of specific malfunctions. The landing gear gravity extension handle is located on the center pedestal. The steering hand wheels are located on each side of the cockpit, so either pilot can taxi the aircraft. The rudder pedals can also be used to steer the aircraft. Note, United Airlines policy states that only the captain may taxi the aircraft using the hand wheel. During taxi, either steering hand wheel can be used to control the direction of the aircraft. The steering hand wheel provides 75 degrees of nose wheel deflection, left or right. Signals from each hand wheel are summed up. If two hand wheels are moved in the same direction, the nose wheel deflection will be equivalent to the sum of the hand wheel commands. During taxi, the flight controls must be checked. To check the rudder pedal disconnect switch must be held down. This button disconnects the nose wheel steering from the rudder so that full deflection of the rudder pedals can be checked against the indications on the ECAM flight controls page. During takeoff, the aircraft direction is controlled exclusively using the rudder pedals. The rudder pedals provide up to 6 degrees of right and left deflection at low speed. As the speed increases, this deflection angle decreases progressively until 130 knots, when directional control is 0% nose wheel and 100% rudder. The rudder pedals are located on each side of the center pedestal. Manual braking is provided using the top of the rudder pedals. The parking brake handle is located on the center pedestal. The A319-320 provides two braking modes: normal braking, brake by wire; alternate braking, conventional low-pressure hydraulic signal. Normal braking, which is powered by the green hydraulic system, utilizes electrical signals which are sent to the BSCU, Brake Steering Control Unit. The normal braking provides auto brakes, manual brakes, and anti-skid. Alternate braking is powered by the yellow hydraulic system. The alternate system is backed up by a hydraulic accumulator. The alternate braking provides anti-skid, depending on failure, parking brakes, and manual brakes. This is a schematic of the green normal brake system. Electrical signals from the brake pedals activate the BSCU, which sends a signal to open the normal selector valve. Hydraulic pressure then opens the automatic selector valve. Pressure is modulated by the anti-skid system to the normal servo valve. Note, in the green system, there is no pressure indication shown on the triple pressure indicator. When auto brakes are used, electrical signals are sent directly to the BSCU from the auto brake system. The normal selector valve is opened, allowing pressure to open the automatic selector valve. The normal servo valve is modulated by the anti-skid. The ABS uses signals from wheel tacks and the ADIRs to compare the actual deceleration rate to the selected rate. When 80% of the selected rate is achieved, spoilers, reversers, drag, a green deceleration light illuminates. Once again, there is no pressure indication shown on the triple pressure indicator. If green brakes fail, or if the anti-skid and nose wheel steering switch is turned off, the yellow system takes over automatically. The normal selector valve closes. Yellow pressure pushes the automatic selector valve open, allowing hydraulic pressure into the alternate brake system. The brake pedals send a low-pressure hydraulic signal to the dual valve. If anti-skid is available, the alternate servo valve modulates the pressure. When using alternate brakes, there is pressure indication on the triple gauge. If the failure has also caused the loss of anti-skid, the alternate servo valve will open fully. The pilots must monitor the hydraulic pressure on the gauges. Brake pressure must not exceed 1,000 psi. The parking brake handle is located on the center pedestal. When activated, the control valve opens, allowing yellow hydraulic pressure from the pump or the accumulator to lock the brakes. All other braking systems are deactivated. This gauge, which is located on the main instrument panel, measures yellow system pressure only. The AccuPress, or accumulator pressure, will always register accumulator pressure as long as the aircraft is powered. The brakes gauges measure yellow pressure to the left and right wheels. When normal or green pressure is active, these gauges read 0. The accumulator brake pressure is checked before setting the brakes. If the pressure is in the green area, the accumulator should be able to hold parking brake pressure for 12 hours. If the pressure indication is not in the green arc, use the yellow hydraulic electrical pump to recharge the brake accumulator. When the park brakes are set, a green memo on the engine warning display appears. Notice that the pressure to the main brakes is indicated for each main landing gear. This is yellow hydraulic pressure. The park brake uses the alternate braking system, which is powered by yellow hydraulic pressure. Just before pushback, the parking brakes are released. Set the park brake to off. The park brake is off. Note that the two brake pressure indicators have dropped to 0. During pushback, the nose wheel steering selector located on the nose wheel must be in the towing position. A memo, Nose Wheel Steering Disconnect, is displayed in green on the engine warning display, indicating that nose wheel steering is not available. The memo turns amber as soon as one engine is running, as a caution that taxi is possible, but that nose wheel steering is not available. The pushback is completed. With both engines running and nose wheel steering reconnected, the brakes are checked to verify that green normal brakes have taken over and that yellow pressure is at 0 on the brake pressure triple indicator. To initiate the test, hold the brakes down and turn off the parking brake. On the brake pressure triple indicator, the brake pressure is at 0, indicating that the normal braking system is in use. Note, if brake pedals are quickly depressed, a brief brake pressure indication appears on the brake pressure triple indicator. During taxi, the ECAM wheel page is automatically displayed. Notice the two green triangles for each gear, indicating that the gear is down and locked. There are two computers called Landing Gear Control and Interface Units, LGCIUs, that provide gear indications and take turns controlling the gear. LGCIU 1 provides indications for the gear panel and for the ECAM wheel page. LGCIU 2 provides indications for the ECAM wheel page only. Its indications are the hash-marked triangles. The LGCIUs take turns with the gear operation. They switch over at each gear retraction or when one LGCIU becomes faulty. The green horizontal lines indicate that the gear doors are closed in the normal position. Brake temperature is displayed in green to indicate that it is normal. During taxi, the auto brake is armed at max for takeoff. Set the auto brake to max. The following indications show that the auto brake is armed. On in the selected push button, a message in green on the ECAM wheel page. And auto brake max changes from blue to green on the takeoff configuration message. Normally, the ECAM engine page is displayed during takeoff. However, so that you can see the gear indications during gear retraction, we will display the ECAM wheel page. Retract the landing gear. Once the landing gear lever is in the up position, the auto brake is automatically disengaged. On disappears on the Max push-button switch, and Auto Brake Max disappears on the ECAM wheel page. Also, the message Landing Gear Control appears, indicating a discrepancy between the gear and the lever position. Watch the ECAM and the landing gear lights. We will point out the changes as they occur. The landing gear doors deflect downward and change to amber to indicate that they are open. At the same time, on the main gear, the braking system automatically brakes the wheels. As the doors close, you will hear in the cockpit the sound of the brake band braking the nose wheels. Then the landing gear retracts. There are two sets of indications which inform the pilot that the landing gear is no longer locked. Red Unlock is illuminated in the position indicator lights, and the landing gear indicators become red on the ECAM wheel page. On the ECAM wheel page, the gear is retracted and the doors close. On the landing gear panel, the unlocked indications extinguish. Watch the indications as the gear extends. Extend the landing gear. As soon as the handle is down, the ECAM wheel page is automatically displayed. On the ECAM wheel page, the landing gear door indications change from green to amber as the doors open. On the landing gear panel, the unlocked indications turn red to indicate that the gear is unlocked. The landing gear unlocks and descends. On the ECAM wheel page, the landing gear indications are displayed in red. The landing gear extends and locks down. On the ECAM wheel page, the landing gear indications change from red to green, and the door indications change from amber to green as the doors close. On the landing gear panel, the unlocked indications extinguish, and the landing gear indications become green to indicate that the gear is down and locked. These green dashes appear in flight when the landing gear is extended. They remain displayed until touchdown. They will come on and off during braking according to the anti-skid release order. They indicate that the anti-skid is normal and available. Note, the blue REL indication means released and is a label only. The use of auto brakes is recommended when operating on contaminated runways or in low visibility. For landing today, we will use the auto brake. Set the auto brake to low. The following indications show that the auto brake is armed. On in the selected push button, auto brake low in green on the engine warning display, and auto brake low in green on the ECAM wheel page. Note, on the EWD, the memo Auto Brake Low only appears below 800 feet AGL. We have just touched down. During the landing rollout, extension of the ground spoilers triggers the auto brake. The deceleration light illuminates green when the aircraft deceleration is at least 80% of the selected rate. Auto brake action depends on the rate selected. Low, braking after approximately 4 seconds. Medium, braking after approximately 2 seconds, and higher deceleration than in low. Max, Immediate braking with max deceleration rate. This mode is only used for takeoff. On the ECAM wheel page, watch the green dashes. They appear during braking, indicating that the anti-skid is active. The auto brake can be deselected, either using the corresponding push-button switch on the auto brake panel, or by applying sufficient force to one brake pedal in low and medium, and to both brake pedals in max. On the ECAM wheel page, check the brake temperature for significant differences and high temperatures. Maintenance action is required if the temperature difference between two brakes on the same gear is greater than 150 degrees and the temperature of any brake is above 600 degrees Celsius or below 60 degrees Celsius. Stopping at the gate, the first action is to set the parking brake on. The park brake is now set. Before releasing the pedals, check the brake pressure indications. Note, setting the parking brake automatically deactivates all other braking modes, any mode using the brake pedals. This is a demonstration of a landing gear malfunction. Extend the landing gear. Extinguish the master warning light. The left main gear did not extend and lock. On the landing gear panel, the unlocked indication is red. On the ECAM wheel page, the message Landing Gear Control is displayed amber, indicating that the gear and landing gear lever positions disagree. The first step on ECAM is to recycle the landing gear. The crew recycles the gear. The landing gear is extended again, and the failure remains. The next action requires a non-ECAM procedure described in the flight manual. Extend the gear by clicking on the gravity extension handle. The hand crank has been turned 3 times. The next step is to place the gear lever in the down position. Finally, check for gear down indications on the gear panel and on the ECAM wheel page. The gear is now down and locked. Note that the gear doors remain open. This is shown on the wheels page. The door indicators are open and amber. The next step is to clear ECAM. Clear ECAM. The status page is now displayed. Approach Cat 3 single only is listed in the left column, indicating a downgrade in approach capability. Cat 3 dual and nose wheel steering are listed under in-op systems. Anytime a landing is made with the gear doors open, nose wheel steering is lost. The final step is to finish the ECAM procedure by clearing the status page. Clear ECAM. ECAM complete. Screens normal. Notice that the status reminder is displayed on the engine warning display. Other ECAM faults will be displayed in the same manner. In this example, one LGCIU detects the nose landing gear in transit and displays the triangle in red. The other LGCIU detects the nose gear down and locked and shows a green triangle. In this example, one triangle is missing, meaning that the gear is detected up and locked by one LGCIU. The remaining triangle is red because the other LGCIU detects the gear in transit. The steering message appears in case of nose wheel steering failure, a green hydraulic system failure, or if the anti-skid nose wheel steering switch has been turned off. It is also associated with an ECAM caution. This is an ECAM presentation of hot brakes. During the landing rollout, when brakes are applied, the temperatures begin to rise. Above 100 degrees Celsius, a green arc appears on the hottest wheel. Brake temperature continues to increase. You hear the chime and see the master caution. Extinguish the master caution. On the ECAM wheel page, the brake temperatures are displayed in amber above 300 degrees Celsius. An amber arc is displayed above the hottest wheel. As long as the brake temperature is too hot, the takeoff must be delayed. The next failure will show automatic reversion to the alternate brakes. This failure can be caused by a green system hydraulic failure or by a dual BSCU failure. The caution and associated checklist are displayed on the engine warning display. The green auto brake medium messages disappear from the engine warning display and from the wheel page. Auto braking is now lost. On the ECAM wheel page, the message anti-skid appears in amber, indicating an anti-skid failure. Also, the message alternate brake appears in green, indicating the loss of normal braking. When using brakes without anti-skid, care must be taken not to exceed 1000 psi on the yellow brake pressure gauge.